What's up, simplified fat loss? So, am I in the right spot? Am I streaming into our group? Can y'all see me? I want to talk to you guys about how to burn fat. Do you girls want to burn some fat? Of course you do. The name of the group is Simplified Fat Loss, right? Of course you want to burn fat. I am on Zoom, so this always gets weird. And I'm on Zoom because I'm going to show you guys some stuff. We're going to go through some actual case studies. There's a lot of confusion about fat loss. Obviously, everybody's preaching a million different messages. Here's the deal. A lot of things that we do to lose weight are actually screwing up our bodies, and it's making continued weight loss harder and harder and harder. We hit plateaus that we don't know how to get out of. Have you ever had this happen where you're like, I've changed nothing, and like the weight loss has completely stopped? Or I'm barely eating and I'm not losing any more weight. And then the minute that you eat like a normal human, or you even like eyeball a piece of bread, now all of a sudden you boom, you put the weight back on, right? That's a metabolic issue, but it's not because of your age and it's not because of menopause. It's usually because of how we're losing the weight in the first place. And so this is very fitting for our movement week here in the group. Because I'm going to tie in the food and the movement piece into this, and you're going to see how it all fits together because weight loss is a complex puzzle. Duh. We just got to get the right puzzle pieces together. Girl, listen, you do not need to be strict to lose weight. Promise you, if you did, I would fail. I cannot be strict with any of this to save my life, okay? I like food. Just it ain't gonna happen, okay? But you do need strategy. And so if you've been here doing the movement challenge, give yourself a pat on the back, sister. You've been helping your body already. And now I want you guys to keep going because it's Friday. We're on our fifth day. Tomorrow's the final check-in for the movement challenge. I want to see you keep building on that movement momentum that you've already started building and keep the ball rolling and actually start burning hella fat. Okay. And so, but before we can do that, we have to talk about how our body actually burns fat. Like, you guys need to understand this stuff if you're going to keep the fat loss party going. So, and not hit plateaus and crazy stuff. I want to make sure I'm streaming in the right spot because with Zoom, I don't ever even know what's going on here. Okay. Oh boy. Doesn't look like we are. Oh no. Where am I live? Oh no. Let's see. Am I on my personal page? No. Where am I live? Am I not really live? What is happening right now? Girls, help me out. Are we live in the Facebook group? Oh boy. It says that I am. Well, it says that I am. I'm gonna assume that I am. Oh, this is going to be upsetting if I'm just talking to myself. I don't want to get too far down this speech and have to give it all over again because it's good. Y'all need to hear about this. All right. Well, I'm going to assume there's a Wi-Fi issue on my phone. We're going to roll with it and have to re-record this, then fine, whatever. Okay. Here's what happens when your body is losing weight. Anytime that you lose weight, you're almost always going to be losing muscle. Now, it's not always the case, okay? But think like with weight loss, some of what you're losing is muscle and some of it is fat. Now, the quicker you're losing weight, the more likely it is that you're losing a disproportionate ratio of muscle to fat. I'm going to get to why you care about this in just a second, okay? I promise. Hang with me there. It's not necessarily that going slow is better because you could be losing weight slowly and still be losing a lot of muscle and doing it wrong. So slow doesn't always mean that you're doing it right, but going super fast usually means you're doing it wrong. Does that make sense? And so because the faster that metabolic, or sorry, the faster that you're burning fat, you're probably not actually just burning fat, right? The scale's like flying down. You're usually losing muscle and fat. Your body's only going to burn so much fat at a time. It's going to start dipping into muscle. All right. Now, if your nutrition isn't on point, you're going to burn muscle even faster. If you're not doing strength training. So here's where the movement comes in, right, ladies? If you're not doing strength training, you're also going to be losing muscle faster. Now, here's why we care. Everybody is losing muscle with age. Everybody over the age of 30. It's happening, okay? Unless you are like really, really working hard to prevent it with lots and lots of protein and strength training. But what are we typically doing as women who are trying to lose weight? We're counting points. Tell me in the chat box, actually, what your normal go-to is. When you want to lose weight, what do? You count points, you drop calories, you drop carbs, you do keto, you do a program where they put you on like 800 calories of like prepackaged food. Oh my gosh, please don't ever eat under 1,000 calories. That's a topic for another day, but just don't, okay? So we're putting our body into a calorie deficit. Fine, you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. But women have typically already lost so much more muscle than men because of the ways that we've been trying to lose weight year after year after year after year. We're wasting muscle away. And then here's the real punch in the face. We approach perimenopause. Now, you youngins might be like, I don't care about that. Girl, it's happening sooner than you think it is. Most women are in perimenopause well before they're aware that that's what's going on. And as your estrogen rates start dropping, so does your muscle. Estrogen protects muscle. So in perimenopause, in menopause, in postmenopause, our muscle is deteriorating rapidly. And so how do you experience this? Well, maybe you weigh the same as you used to, but things like look flabby and you're like, what is going on here? I used to look good at this weight and I don't. Well, that's because you weigh the same, but more of it's fat and less of it's muscle. But the other thing is it feels like our metabolism gets painfully slow. So 9 times out of 10, if somebody comes to me and they're over the age of 35, we don't actually have a weight problem. We have a low muscle problem because when we put muscle back on these women, their metabolism goes faster and they start burning fat faster. But we got to be strategic about how we do that, right? And when we're doing that, the number on the scale doesn't drop as fast because if you're putting muscle on your body at the same time that you're burning fat, which people will tell you is not possible, I have evidence that it is. I have clients in their 60s and 70s right now, several of them, who go get in-body scans. Are these perfect? No, but they're actually pretty good. They're doing the ones in the gyms. They're good for trending, okay? It's not good for telling you like what your actual percentage of body fat is, but if you're doing them on a monthly basis, they are so good for trending. And so we have all of these women who they're losing like a little bit on the scale, but their body scans show us that every single month their muscle mass is going up and their fat is going down. How is that possible? Because they're new to strength training and we have their strength training very dialed in. We're very, very specific about the workouts that they're doing so that we can prioritize that muscle going up while they're in a little tiny bit of a calorie deficit, not a huge one. I don't want their scale flying down. Why? Because then they're going to be losing too much muscle. And that's what their actual problem is. So everybody's in a different position with their body, but body recomposition. How much fat do you have versus how much muscle do you have? This is a non-negotiable thing to pay attention to if you want to keep weight off. So it is true that your fastest weight loss results are going to come from your food. But here's the missing piece. You being able to keep the weight off comes in the gym. All right. I need muscle on your bodies, ladies. And I'm going to show you some pictures because I want to prove a point here. Okay. So I'm not going to show you my clients' in-body scans. That would be an invasion of their privacy. But we have all of this evidence. And those women who are seeing that flex on their body scans, muscles going up, fats going down, scales kind of slow, they're shrinking rapidly. Like they're messaging us all the time, like, this is crazy. I'm only down 5 pounds, but I'm already down a whole pant size. That's never happened to me before. I usually have to lose 10 or 15 pounds to drop a pant size. What the hell is going on here? We have a woman just today who posted on our like Friday celebrations in our private group with our clients that she's only down 5 pounds, but she's down 13 and a half inches. She feels phenomenal. She has way more energy. She thought her energy was drained from menopause. And girls, menopause does drain your energy. Okay, I get it. I'm in menopause right now myself, even though I'm already 43. Okay, it does. But what was really going on was her body was underfueled. We needed to fuel her body back. And she's eating food that she actually likes. So she comes from the fitness competition world where it's like you eat broccoli and chicken and that's all you get. And I was like, here, eat a cheeseburger, be happy again. She's like, I'm gonna gain weight if I eat like that. I'm like, promise you're not. So she's eating way more food. She's eating food that she actually likes. Her body's shrinking rapidly. Sure, the scale's going slow. Do we care? Okay, let me share a photo with you guys because I want to illustrate this point. And I'm going to be seriously so sad if this is not actually live streaming. I'm going to check one more time because I'm so nervous. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Yay, it is. All right. So then sorry that I keep doing that and delaying things, ladies, but thanks for bearing with me. Okay. Hate these photos. Hate them because neither one of these pictures are my leanest, but this proves a point amazingly. If you've already seen this, don't guess. But if you've never seen me give this speech before, how much weight do you think I lost between the photo on the left and the photo on the right? Drop it in the comments. Holler at your girl. Let me know. Obviously, I already gave you guys a clue that we're talking about body recomposition, so you might be able to guess. Maybe you should tell me what it looks like I've lost. Tell me that instead. What does it look like I've lost here? Because the answer is 0. Actually, 1 pound. So the difference between these two photos was 1 pound, but the day after I took the picture on the right, I went up a pound. So literally the next day, I weighed the same. So basically, I weigh the exact same. How is this possible? Because that picture on the right, I have way more muscle. I had been strength training at this point between these pictures for probably 3 years. I had gotten leaner. Then I had put on a little bit of fat and a lot more muscle. And then I was going to go get lean again and get leaner and be able to eat a lot more food. And so the scale is not everything. Listen, if you have a lot of weight to lose and you're hearing this, you're like, I literally don't care, Nikki. I have 50 pounds to lose, 100 pounds to lose, 200 pounds to lose. Yes, we will get your scale down. I promise you that we will. And it will actually speed up if you pay better attention to body composition. So what we're conditioned to think is start off strong, right? By brutal workouts and eating as little food as we possibly can. And maybe we're eating the right foods. We're high protein. We're getting lots of vegetables, blah, blah, blah. But we're eating these little bird portions because that's what women are taught to do. Count your points, count your calories, portion control. Don't eat anything bigger than the size of your palm. Almost probably 70% of the women who come into Keep It Off Academy don't need less food. They actually need more food. So portion controlling isn't going to get you there if you need more food. It can't. All of these things cause temporary scale movement, but they're not paying attention to how fat loss actually works in your body. If the way that you're losing weight is causing more muscle loss than fat loss, or even an even ratio, your metabolic rate is going to slow down so much that you are going to hit plateaus that you have to starve your way out of. And eventually, even the starving stops working. And then you're screwed, right? You're not. We can fix it. But it's a process. You have to boost your metabolism. Yes, you can boost your metabolism. It is not from doing specific fancy belly fat workouts. That doesn't work. You can't spot check where you're going to lose fat. You have to strategically refeed your body and get it primed to lose weight again. And so what every woman's body is capable of on the scale in this exact moment today is going to be different. And it's not even based on necessarily how much weight you have to lose. Obviously, the more you have to lose, the faster we can usually get your scale going. That's not always the case either. So here, let me see, what other pictures do I have that we can illustrate this point with? Okay, Christine, great photo. She lost weight pretty fast. The difference between these two photos was only 3 or 4 months, I think. And she lost 38 pounds between these two pictures. To me, she looks like she lost more than 38 pounds. The women in our world always look like they're losing more than they are. And you think that's going to piss you off. And sometimes it will. But at the end of the day, when you see how much healthier your body is and how much more food you get to eat and how much more energy you have and how much better your digestion is, and here's the kicker, how much easier it is to maintain your weight loss, you won't care if it looks like you're losing more than what you are on the scale. She's only down 38 pounds. It looks insanely different. You know what else the difference was? When she started working with us, She had to use a cane if she went on a long walk because she had so much pain. So we didn't start her with movement. I know the theme of the week is movement, but she couldn't start with movement. We had to get weight off of her body first so that she could then implement a movement plan. But after a very short time, she's throwing kettlebells around. We're like, what is going on? She's the strong one. She goes on vacation. She's the one at their house up north carrying everything up the hill because everybody else is too tired. And she's like, I got this. What a freaking difference, right? And she started losing immediately because her body was primed and it was ready to go. Okay, fine. That's not always the case. This client here, she came to us eating 800 calories a day and she wasn't losing any weight. And she was working out. She was doing strength training and cardio. If you looked at what she was doing on paper, she was doing everything right and her body wouldn't change at all. So we spent 3 months getting her metabolism ready to burn fat again. And then, you know what was really annoying for her? The pictures that you're looking at is 1 month difference here, I think. We're like, okay, cool. It's time to actually start burning some fat. Let's do it. And so she thought, sweet, the scale's just going to fly. No, but she lost a lot of fat. This is a 1 month picture. This woman could not get any fat off of her body for like 2 years. In 1 month, she lost this much, but it was only like 5 pounds. But why? Because she was putting on muscle at the same time that she was burning fat. And you know what? It's way easier for her to maintain. She's maintained this. Actually, she's got leaner than this over the course of the year. Now, typically, what do? We lose weight, and then within a few months, we put it back on, maybe within a year. If you're focused on getting really quick wins on the scale, if your body is tolerating it and you're not wasting muscle while you do it, and you're not causing your hunger and satiety hormones to go bananas, because that's the other thing that happens if we're not losing weight the right way. Our ghrelin and our leptin get all out of whack, and then we think we lack willpower. No, girl. The reason you just turned into a hungry little monster that wants to eat her arm off is because your ghrelin and your leptin and all your hunger and satiety hormones are like, eat food. And you're literally trying to like white knuckle it, fighting your biology. Baby girl, biology is always going to win. You gonna go to the cupboard, smash food. So we got to keep healthy, happy hormones. Hunger and satiety hormones is what I'm talking about. We have to keep our metabolic rate up, and we got to preserve this precious muscle, because if you are a woman who is over 35 years old, you probably 9 times out of 10, you have a low muscle problem. And so that's why I'm so pumped that you guys are crushing the movement challenge. And if you're thinking, well, Nikki, the movement that I was doing was just walking, that's not strength training. I don't care. You're moving your body. It is a victory. Sedentary bodies waste away muscle and bone. And that is why women struggle so much to keep weight off. So if it's going for daily walks, awesome. You're helping your body so much more than you think. But eventually, yes, we have to keep building out the movement plan. We need to get really strategic with putting muscle on your body, which takes the nutrition piece and the movement piece, and actually the rest and the recovery piece, and actually the stress management piece, because your nervous system all goes into this as well. If you want help structuring a plan that's looking at all of these things and it's helping you put healthy habits into place so you can keep going with a happy metabolism, holler at your girl. We have spots open and keep it off. This is what we do. We look at like, what is going on with your body right now? What does it need? Not how can we get the scale flying? So if you're like, I have to lose 3 pounds every week or it's not worth doing it, then I love you and you can stay here and you can keep doing all the free trainings, but don't come in to keep it off, because that's not what we do. That's not what we do. We look at like what's going on with your body. What does your body need right now? Is it the case that you're like Nikki on the left, who was grossly under muscled and she needed to go put some muscle on? Or are you more like Nikki on the right, who's like, okay, now we have enough muscle and we're ready to go burn more fat? If you want to like dig into what's really going on for your body, you want expert eyes on your plan. You want my eyes on your paper, where we're like, okay, this is where your body's at. This is how we get your body to the next phase, and we just keep building it out. It sounds slower on paper because the beginning of it is slower. We're used to going on diets where we have that big initial whoosh, right? We take away all of our carbs and all of our sodium and our processed food. And so we just diurese. We just go to the bathroom and we just pee and pee and pee for days. And it's so magical because the scale is just flying because of all the peeing that we're doing. And we think, I'm winning this game. I'm down like 10 pounds in 2 weeks. Let's go. Girl, that's water weight. Okay. You might start off losing a lot of weight with us in the beginning, and then we may have to pause that and cycle your metabolism if your metabolism gets fussy so you don't have plateaus. Or you might come on board and we might go, oh, girl, we got to fix up this metabolism first. And you won't lose weight right away. And then the weight loss will get faster and faster and faster. I don't know what your path is going to be. Here's what I know. If you want to keep weight off of your body and lose it for the very last time, you must let your metabolism lead your process, not the scale, because the scale isn't giving you the full picture. The scale is measuring muscle, bone, connective tissue, hydration, how much poop you have in your colon. Let's just call it what it is. Like, there are so many things that affect the number on the scale. I'll prove it to you. Get up tomorrow, weigh yourself, go drink water, come back and weigh yourself. You'll weigh more than what the glass of water was that you just drank. And you'd be like, how? This doesn't even make sense. Your body weight fluctuates all day long and it doesn't actually have anything to do with fat. So while the scale is a good tool, it is an imperfect tool. And what's better is to focus on how is your body composition changing? Are you building muscle and losing fat? Girl, that's the secret sauce. Keep doing that. The scale will catch up. We can do things to get the scale moving faster in certain periods of time, but that can't always be the number one focus. Eventually, it has to come back to what's my muscle? What's my fat? What is my metabolic rate? What are my hunger and satiety hormones doing so that I can continue with this process? Look at this like very holistically, very big picture, and you'll be unstoppable. You'll get where you want to be. Is that slower? Not really, because you actually get where you want to be, right? Half the women who come into our program, they're like, I've lost the weight. I've lost 30 pounds. But I've done it 5 times because it always comes back. I can't sustain it for more than like a 6 month time period. And now they're keeping it off for 3 years, 4 years. So was it slower? It's not slower if it gets you there. So focus on body comp. Keep the movement going that you guys have been building here. And if you want a spot in our Keep It Off Academy, or you want to talk about what it looks like, maybe you don't know all the details about that program, comment here, Keep It Off, and then send me a message. Because when you guys comment in the Facebook group, it doesn't always let me message you. Send me a message and say, Keep It Off. We'll have a conversation. I'll explain to you how the program works. If it's not for you, no big deal. I'm not going to badger you into this program, okay? But I do want to give you the details about it so then you can know, like, oh, is this the right way for me or not? Because there's more than one way to skin a cat. I want you to find what methods are going to work for you. But whatever it is, whether you work with us or another coach, hear me. I can give you the name of a dozen coaches who will make your scale go faster than I will. They will. I'll give you their names. They're going to crash your metabolism and you're not going to keep the weight off, but you're going to feel really, really good while you're working with them. You're going to feel really, really good in the moment. No, you guys should not be running around eating 800 calories a day. No, you do not need to eliminate entire food groups unless your body personally responds poorly to that food group. Otherwise, there's no magic in you taking away meat. Actually, it's more harmful than good. There's no magic in you taking away your vegetables and being a carnivore. Actually, that's more harmful than good. There's no magic in you taking away your cheese. There's no magic in you taking away your wine. It's everything fits together. You got to be looking big picture, but like these huge calorie deficits, especially if there are programs where they tell you don't work out. You're not eating enough to work out. That's a red flag, boo. Run away. That's wasting your muscle. So your scale is flying. They look like wizards. They're wrecking your body, babe. Wrecking it. So strong, lean, healthy bodies that age phenomenally, that let you live the life that you want to live, what's the point of being lean? So you feel good and you want to go out and do things, right? Not to be frail with no energy laying on the couch, like, all right, fine, I'm skinny, but my bones break and I have no muscle and I'm sick all the time. Girl, that ain't what we're going for. We're going for healthy, lean, strong. You guys have got this. Finish up the movement challenge strong and then keep building those that movement plan because it's serving you so good in like more ways than you even know. Maybe not immediately on the scale, but girl, I promise you a solid movement plan is a huge piece of you doing life in a body that you love. So that's it. I'm done rambling. Holler at your girl if you want help with this.